right?
That's right.
Yes. I'm sorry, what was your first name?
Justin.
Justin, I'm sorry. Thank you.
So Trent sends his apologies. It's difficult to continue to get off work, every couple of weeks. He works in a manufacturing trade and, there's deadlines in that business, so he wasn't able to make it today. I was fortunate enough to be able to work a little bit extra last week, earn some comp time to be able to make it. I'm not really sure. I know the last time that we were here was just the commissioner, so I know that there's new faces here, I guess the council that I'm not familiar with. So I don't know if anybody else needs to be caught up to speed on what's going on or.
We had worked on at the last meeting.
I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
I said we had met since the last time with Jay Davidson, working on that way. Right now, I asked Dustin to get in contact with you. Somebody never did call him back. We're in a holding pattern with the state.
I think the problem here though, and let me just say this. I addressed you all originally. Obviously I'm frustrated. I was over here praying, just trying to not come across the wrong way. I'm not trying to come across as somebody who's angry with any one individual, but if you and I, man and man, come up with an agreement and you tell me something and you give me your word, who's responsible for that? You or somebody else? And this is a hypothetical, it has nothing to do with the situation, right?
If we was one-on-one, me and you,
Yeah,
that'd be the way to be. We're dealing with government.
I understand that. Hang on now, I understand that. You keep deferring back to the state of Indiana. My problem is not with the state of Indiana. You're trying to come up with a resolution from the state of Indiana that appeases everybody, and I understand that and I can respect that. The problem is, I have nothing to do with the state of Indiana. The state of Indiana is not the one who made the decision and issued the building permit that should have never been issued. The state of Indiana is not the one who gave me a verbal confirmation over the phone that said, hey, we're going to try to pursue all these other things. We're going to pursue a bill change. We're going to pursue flood evaluations. We're hiring hydrologists out of Indianapolis. We're doing everything we can. But if all else fails, we'll make sure that you are made financially whole. And whenever I mentioned that last week, I feel like that was used against me because since then, we've had no communication. My brother tried to reach out to Travis Elliott and just have a conversation. He was advised to not talk to us anymore from his attorney or just to go through Dustin from now on. But yet you all advise us not to get an attorney. You said my recommendation to you is I would not get an attorney.
I said if it was me, I wouldn't at that point because I felt confident as me. And I said, what you do is your own business. What everyone in this room does is their own business. You're an adult, I'm an adult, okay? You do what you want to do. With what I'm being told, I was hopeful that we had it. Last night at 7:30, the bill did move to the floor of the Senate for a vote. I just talked to him this morning. It's on the floor, and I'm waiting on the Senate, but that's where I'm at. Now, Dustin Howard did try to contact you a couple weeks ago to talk to you, and nobody got back to him.
I didn't get a contact from Dustin. Maybe my brother got that or whatever the case is.
It was his brother, not.
Well, I mean, okay.
But you're telling me not to get an attorney. Am I equipped to talk to Dustin Howard about the situation, or am I going to paint myself into a corner? Because I'm not an attorney. I'm trying to go at your all's recommendation and have faith, and you got to understand this. This is not a situation that's been dragging on for 2 weeks. My brother has been homeless for over a year now. He's going he has mental issues already, but this is affecting his mental state of mind. How would you feel if you've been going on for over a year, there's no resolution, and the only recommendation that you can get from the governing body who issued the building permit in the first place is just wait. We're running out of time. The mortgage is going to be coming due, and there's no guarantee from anybody that if the bill does not pass, is there any other options on the table to make sure that the right thing is done here. That's something that the commissioners are. I understand you have your attorneys are tying your hands, the insurance companies are tying your hands, but you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that we are responsible for the simple fact that we're the ones who signed the mortgage. And the reason that is because I did everything that I was supposed to do, and I would love for somebody to tell me what I did wrong. I called the Washington County Building Commissioner. I asked them, is this a buildable site? I handed them a map, a correct map, and they said, we don't use that map, buddy, that's the wrong map. Here's the map that we're supposed to use. And you know what they did? They gave me the wrong map and issued a building permit in an area that they weren't supposed to do. You know that that's a hardcore fact. The other part of that is, on the website that is on the Washington County Building Commission website, it lists out very plainly what the duties and responsibilities is to issue a building permit. Not all of those duties and responsibilities were followed like they were supposed to have been. So I don't have a problem with Indiana or Indianapolis or the state of Indiana. That's for you to figure out. I have a problem with Washington County Building Commissioner. They issued a building permit that was in a floodway, and by law, they should not have done that. Now they're telling me that I am financially responsible for that. My request is that you somehow make a motion or do whatever and say that, like, okay, listen, I hear you out. If this bill doesn't, and we've been told that the bill may pass and the site is still not buildable if we can't get everything to line up in terms of insurance and being able to get a mortgage on the house. There's a lot of other moving pieces that nobody is able to give us any answers to. So I would like for somebody to say, hey, listen, we're going to put it in writing and we're going to say that if we cannot come up with a solution to let this go through, you build your house and you get a mortgage on it, you get insurance and all the right things, and the house is sellable again, I would love for there to be some kind of, maybe from this lady's ARP funds over here that she's concerned about, there's some kind of thing to say, hey, listen, Washington County dropped the ball on this and we did you all wrong. You all sell the property. Whatever your loss is, we pay it. I don't really think that that's fair, to be perfectly honest with you, to make a man be homeless for over a year and then break even on a piece of property. I don't know if there's any real estate investors here, but people don't buy property to break even on it. And we're going to hold this property for over 2 years and lose money on it. And at the end of the day, nobody cares. And it is Washington County that failed us.
Justin, I just recently became involved in this. I did email your brother Thursday or Friday last week.
And look, I apologize. Let me interrupt you for just a second. When I came here last time, I said that my brother and I are not 100% on the same page of this, and I don't know if there's some misunderstanding about that, but that's a fact. My brother is a lot more patient and a lot more trusting in what the commissioners have said than what I am. So I think that maybe there's an element of that when communication like that is received, we handle it different ways in terms of, like, I'm kind of done dealing with this personally, but it's not my decision to make by myself because my brother's involved in this as well. So maybe that's where, the lack of communication was or whatever, so I apologize for that.
No, you're fine. It's one thing for me to say, commissioners of Washington County is exploring a resolution. Again, I don't know what's going on. I don't know the facts. I just became aware of this when you guys came to the last meeting. The commissioners have asked me to get involved. I'm trying to do that and gather the facts and figure out what's going on. But again, it's one thing for me to say we're exploring a resolution. It's another thing for these guys to say that because they're potential witnesses in any litigation and any statements they make in a public meeting, even if that statement is we're exploring all resolutions, may be deemed an admission. So, I'm going to tell instructor, advise them not to comment any further. I would love to have a conversation with you and your brother, and you can help me understand what's going on and explore any resolution. If you have an attorney, I'm happy to speak with it.
I get so frustrated at this process because I am the type of person that a written contract doesn't mean anything to me. My handshake and my word is unbreakable. And Travis Elliott already as far as it, like, if this was something to go to trial and witnesses or whatever the case is, if a judge asked Travis Elliott point blank, or a mediator, or whoever's the one who's gonna ask these questions, if they ask him, hey, was this your responsibility to issue this building permit? Yes. Well, let's look at the duties and responsibilities. Did you follow these to a T? His answer is gonna be no, because he did. If they ask him, did you tell Justin Wilson on the phone, and I'll look up the day when I talked to him, it was the day before he was having a meeting with the insurance company, sometime in December, I believe. I'll look it up and figure out what day it was exactly. But if somebody asked him, did you tell Justin Wilson on the phone that if all else fails, that we're gonna work something out for you and make sure that you guys get back to break even, the only way that he can say that didn't happen is if he lies. And if he's okay lying, then, there ain't nothing I can do about that. I understand it's my word against his. But in terms of an admission or anything like that, he's already admitted all the things that, like, yeah, man, and I understand that he doesn't think that he's at fault because DNR didn't provide training and this and that, but, there's other surveyors and other building commissioners from other counties that I've talked to that were aware of the change, that these new maps were the ones to go off of now. So I don't know why Travis wasn't schooled up on that, but he wasn't. And I want to be clear. I think Travis is a great guy. I've had conversations with him, and I've honestly prayed for Travis, because if I was in a situation where I made a mistake at work, and let me just, I don't know that he made something intentional. I don't think there was anything intentional there, but if I'd done something that I felt like there was any part of me that was responsible, that I costed somebody $300 and something thousand, that I wouldn't be able to sleep, that would bother me. And the conversations that I had with Travis, I think that it does bother him. So I don't have any ill feelings toward him personally, but the way that this is being resolved, man, is just wrong. You can't take a person and tell them, build your house, and then all of a sudden, we made a mistake, you're not allowed to build that house. It would be different if the house wasn't already built. I could understand that. I could say, oh, okay, the house is built. It's already there. I wish I would have brought pictures of it to show you. His kids had walked through and picked out where their beds are going to go. His wife is crying over the empty laundry room that she's never going to fold clothes in. And the fact of the matter is, we've been informed that this is a county that's maybe not necessarily in the greatest of financial situations. You've got working families who are involved in their communities, involved in their churches, involved in their kids' school systems, who are wanting to move into this area and drop roots and become part of this community. And do you think that this is a good first impression that we've dealt with the Washington County, Indiana, the council here and the commissioners? Do you think that this is something I have a lot of trust and faith in this process?
Yeah, I respect that. I would appreciate it if you and Trent and I can sit down and you guys can tell me more about that, because I don't know. And if there's a claim, I need to be aware of it. So if you guys are willing to do that, even if you have an attorney, please have them contact me or sit down with me.
Yeah. The thing about it is, as far as an official claim and all that stuff, none of that stuff has happened. We have consulted with friends of families and different people that we know who, and most of the people that I know, they don't specialize in this type of law. So I'm not really giving great opinions, to be honest with you. However, I think one of the things that's important to point out is, on a sense of talking to you as a person, I'm not intimidated by you. But on a sense of talking to you as a representative of them, I'm intimidated to talk to you because I'm not an attorney. I don't know what you know. I'm not experienced in that. And like you said, you're not going to let these guys who are obviously older and smarter and wiser than I am talk to me, because they might slip up and say something stupid. So why would I talk to you and slip up and say something stupid?
Yeah, if you don't want to, that's fine.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to. I want a resolution.
And I understand you. I respect your position, 100%. But, when I use that word claim, I know you may have a claim against Washington County. Washington County may have an insurance claim it may need to file. So I need to understand all these.
And it's frustrating too, because way back when this first started at this point, I don't even know, August or I think September was the date that the official date. There has not really been any communication from Washington County to us. When it first happened, I talked to Travis Elliott. There has not been very much. I don't know if you're getting frustrated.
Excuse me. we need to cut this short. We're getting nowhere. In the first place, I've spoken to your brother.
Hey, no, I'm talking about
At
Travis. Can I finish this, please?
Sure.
So when I talked to Travis Elliott, I requested a meeting with Washington County Building Commissioner, DNR, and whoever was involved in telling us that we couldn't continue with this building project. And we've gotten no official notice, anything written on paper saying that we cannot proceed. So that's what I mean by we haven't had any official communication. There's been people tell us on the phone, there's been people tell us this and that, but we still don't have an official, and people have asked us that, well, what day did they tell you to stop building? We don't have an official stop build date. They never sent us anything in paper. There's not anything nailed on the build site. So that's what I'm saying.
There's a reason for that. It's a simple reason. This is a very, very complicated situation that involves the state and Washington County. And quite simply, we don't know what we don't know. This is why, unfortunately, and you're a victim, you're the one suffering.
You probably don't like that you said victim, but go ahead.
But I can assure you that the three of us and our attorney, we are very concerned. We don't like this. We're gonna do all we can to help you as much as we can. But honestly, it's somewhat out of our hands. It's a higher up thing than us. And there are things going on. And I know you've been told to be patient.
Well, man, we need a time frame. You don't understand, this loan is gonna be due. What do we do? Give me an answer for what we do when the loan is due and we don't have the money to pay it. Please, somebody tell me that.
I do not know, sir. I do not know. I wish I did.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.